Hi everyone, welcome back. It is week 16, I think, for the garden tour for the journal. Not much has changed from last week. Tomatoes are coming in like crazy. I can barely keep up with them. I honestly am coring them, scoring the bottom and freezing them because harvest is the hardest thing about a garden because it takes forever and then you have to process everything. The easy part is growing this stuff, having the faith. The hard part, putting the food together. So let's take a look. And then I have to show you the big sunflower because it's blooming and it's huge. Okay, so cosmos are still going wild. Caladiums look good. Need to harvest some of the zinnias before they get too far ahead of me. I've had one sunflower open up so far. I harvested some of these for a bouquet yesterday. Let's see here. The one sunflower had opened up. It opened up early, so I couldn't use it in the bouquet because it was already all spent and yucky looking. There's this one here. That one's been open for a while. And looks like that one up there is going to bloom here shortly. Really need to get some orders so that I can use those. Apparently some of my hang on, technical difficulties. Apparently some of my seeds from my rudbeckia washed out into the soil here. Glad still have not been able to use any of them. They all look burnt. A lot of the tomatoes are cracking from the rain that we've gotten. I went through and harvested everything that was blushing before we got a big rain the other day. I probably need to do it again. Cosmos, a couple of onions, a couple of beets. Really need to plant some more peas, so those might be ready before frost. More onions. That kohlrabi is definitely ready to harvest. Cherry tomatoes, once it starts raining and they're ripening, are impossible to keep up with because they split, they fall, they cray. Snapdragons, they're starting to put on their second flush now that it's cooled down some. So I've got quite a few of those. The red ones have been really productive. Been very happy with them. Celosia looks good. That actually has some seeds in it now, so I could harvest some of that, hang it to dry, and then the seeds will fall out and I'd have seeds for next year. Yarrow looks really good. Basil looks good. I have not. So to me, this looks like at least what first year sea holly does. And that's a lot to try to put in one bouquet. I just feel bad because I could really only use this top cluster. So we'll see what next year comes with. They might branch out more, might get bigger. Gomphrena looks good. A lot of the pink ones are very ready to harvest. This one's past harvest. It's all gonna fall apart. The white ones are still not ready because they're very floppy. I don't know if that's just a trait of the white Gomphrena or it just needs more time. We shall see. Basil's going crazy. Focus, camera, focus. There we go. Yarrow looks good. Sage looks good. Beans need to be pulled. Same story. Potatoes are ready to be pulled. We need to put 3 more hours in a day. Daylight hours. Celery. Kale. Any of the cabbage I have left there is nasty, so time for it to go. This vine looks a little healthier here where it's put on some new growth. Keep weaving that up the trellis. Carrots. Carrots are ready to be pulled. More healthy vine. I don't know if I've had any more cucumbers. I had cucumber salad the other day. That was really good. There's one in there. Give it to me. That's a monster. Don't see any other at the moment. Right? Nope. No real signs of squash. There's some new zucchinis forming up on this one. Oh, wait. There's a good one. There. Nice and tender. I think that's all of it. And then my dill that is gone to seed. I should probably harvest some so that I have more dill seed, but I think I have a whole pack in the house, so don't know if I'm going to do that. My camera is struggling hard to focus this morning. Focus. Okay. And that's everything in the garden. Hopefully put out some more announcements for flowers so that people can enjoy these beautiful blooms on their table. And then let's go look at the giant sunflower. It's huge. Here is the giant sunflower blooming. Now I would totally cut it and enjoy it, except for the fact that it's a branching sunflower, a multi-hudded sunflower. So if I were to cut it, I wouldn't get to enjoy all the other ones. But yeah, it's like 12 feet tall. Because again, that chicken run is 4.5, and it is more than double over what the chicken coop is. And then this one over here just has a giant head. Of course, I had a flower order yesterday, and now all of these sunflowers are opening up today. Ones that are singularly headed, and I could have cut. That one's a little bit too massive for a bouquet. That would have been an entire bouquet itself. But these other ones here are perfect harvest stage to be enjoyed. But of course, today they decided to open up. Oh well, what you gonna do? I have a dahlia here. Can't wait to see that one bloom because I don't remember what color it is. I have one down here, but I don't think that one's gonna bloom because I don't think it gets enough sun. It's a little too busy in the flower bed for it. Lavender that I sheared back is starting to look a lot better. Starting to come back. I sheared it, and then of course the earwigs came out and they ate a whole bunch. Took a bunch of the leaves off. But it's starting to put on its new growth, which is good. I won't mess with it now until next year. So I might trim it a little earlier next year just to try to avoid some of the woody base, or I might do nothing. I don't know. I've never really trimmed it up like this before, and I have to see how it goes through the winter. So we shall see. Need to find something to fill that hole. It's a giant gap. I think that all of these along here are seeds from, oh, hummingbird. So pretty. Can you see him all the way over there? But I think all of these along here are seeds from the gay feather plant. So I think I'm going to let them grow for a year or two, and then I'll probably transplant them around in the garden, which totally works out for me. So that's kind of why I let things go to seed, so that way I have something to pick from, and hopefully they'll spread their seeds, and then I can move plants around, and who doesn't love free plants? One more area to show off. So I'm really proud of this. My husband helped me yesterday. He went and got 2 yards of mulch, and I had a bunch of cardboard I've been saving all summer to do this project. But I went through and I edged out the very edge of the bed. Took like more or less like a foot of the grass away, kind of to make a lip, kind of to make it so that the grass wasn't touching the other grass, and then laid down all the cardboard on top of everything, and then mulched over top of it relatively thick. Ranges from like probably a 1/2 inch in all reality to almost 2 inches in some spots. Kind of depends where it is. But mulched all this because I wanted to mulch underneath the pine trees because they had quite a few weeds and things growing up, and I didn't want it to be anything that was going to choke out any of the lower branches of the pine tree, because we use those for snow block in the winter. They're kind of important. They look pretty too, but kind of important for that. So cleaned up that. If I was going to mulch under there, I didn't want to mow grass back under there because that would be pointless. So I made it so that I don't have to, I can come around with the mower and not blow any grass back into the new mulch. I can't take this cage off this tree because deer. And then we have a little drain that comes out here, so he put in a little rock spillway, and we went all the way around the trees, just tucked up ever so closely underneath them, just to make it nice and easy to mow. My plan, I don't know that it'll be next year, but it's probably in the next 3 years, is I want to take this whole piece here along the side of this house, like all the way out to the corner of the deck, and come all the way kind of at a diagonal more or less down to like here. So it's a huge area to mulch. I'm going to need a lot of cardboard to do it, but it would be awesome to have all this turned into flower bed. It is a little bit of a pain to mow here just because of how tight some of the corners get. But more than anything, like, can you imagine just this giant flower bed? And I want to put in like a pondless waterfall, like right here along the side of these trees, and a walking path up there along the house. I just think it would be so pretty. Dreams, big dreams. So, but that's everything going on. So that's a garden tour update, an update on the giant sunflower, and then a project that we did yesterday that I'm so excited about. I love it. So happy that it's done. I can't wait. We have another pine tree out in the yard, another big one like these. I want to mulch underneath that one, but that probably won't happen this year. And like I said, mulching underneath them prevents stuff from growing up and then like choking out the lower branches. So, because there's a lot of like grass grows underneath there to a point. And honestly, the birds that live in the trees bring in all these seeds and drop stuff, and then the next thing you know, like, there's all this stuff and vines and weeds growing underneath the tree, and not good. So, did all that, got it all cleaned up, and then the fun thing, I took the pruners. Let's see if I can show it. Okay, but I took the pruners and I pruned up some of the actually dead branches in here. So like you could go in there and stand up now. So I think it'll be a cool little secret hiding area for the girls. I mean, I know about it, so like hopefully it's not too secret, but a cool little place for them to come play if and then they decide they want to. Probably have to keep that in mind so that whenever I plant stuff here, I don't totally block that off. Because it would be a cool little fort. But those are the project updates. Thank you so much for coming along and watching. Really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you next time.